What's up, sports fans? Coming to you from the Monkeypod Worldwide headquarters with my main man, Gats. You want to say hi? Not going to say hi. And today's video is on hidden fields. So it's actually been on my to-do list for a while. I literally have post-it notes on my desk with different things that I want to tackle or talk about. And this one says hidden fields video, and it has 3 reasons that hidden fields are valuable. So let's zoom way out on this. If you are familiar with Infusionsoft's web forms or landing pages, or really the web forms or landing pages from any platform, not just Infusionsoft, the goal for those forms is to collect information. So when you fill it in, right, you're typing your information into fields on that form, and when you click submit, that field data gets passed through to Infusionsoft or whatever CRM you're using, and it populates a contact record. I think everyone's clear on how that works. Now, hidden fields are pretty much the same thing. The distinction is that they are hidden on that actual form, so the person filling in their info can't see it. And you may be naturally wondering, well, if they're hidden and the person can't see it, how do they get filled in, right? So that's really where the confusion around hidden fields comes in, because people know that they exist, but they don't really see how it could be valuable if somebody can't put information into them. So there are primarily 3 ways that hidden fields can be used. Method number 1 is populating it through the URL. So if you build a web form and it's designed to capture somebody's name and their email address, right, that's the information that they're going to type in when they want to submit this form. But there are other ways that information can be loaded onto that page. For example, if you send people to that page from a Facebook ad, you can append information onto the URL, and as the page loads, that information is grabbed from the URL and mapped into hidden fields. So effectively, you've got 2 fields that the people are filling in, and then 1 or 2 or 3 fields that are hidden that are being filled in by the URL. So as the page loads, there are 3 fields being filled in the background. Now, the benefit to this is when they submit that form, you not only collect the 2 fields that that person actually typed out themselves, but you also get the background info that may be tracking where they were coming from. The reason that this particular tactic is so valuable is because it allows you to collect information through a single form from a variety of sources. So anyone who fills this form out, we know that their name and their email address is information that they're giving us. But the other information might be what platform they were on, which specific ad they saw, and some other attribution parameter that you want to keep track of. Now, the second method for hidden fields is for 2-step or multi-step forms. So if you have a landing page or a web form and it's collecting a bunch of information, 3 or 4 or 10 questions about somebody, it can be pretty intimidating for them to fill out all of that information. And so in order to make it more digestible, one thing that people have taken to doing, or one strategy rather, is to break those questions up into multiple stages. So the first stage, the first form that they fill out might just have their first name and email. And then when they submit that, it takes them to a second form which has questions 3, 4, 5. And then when they submit that, it takes them to a third form that has questions 6, 7, 8, right? So you can break it up into more digestible chunks to help encourage them along the process. Now, the reason you need a hidden field here is because if we collect their email address on the first form, we don't want to have to make them type their email address in on the second and on the third form, right? That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, because they might, A, they already gave it to us, but B, they might use a different email, or they might have a typo, right? And Infusionsoft needs their email address so that it knows which contact record to add the second and third form submission to. So when you have a multi-step form process, they enter their email on the first form, and then the second form has a hidden field for email address. So when they go from the first to the second, their email address gets passed through, and that way any information that they enter on that second form can automatically go to create an update, rather, the contact who has already been created, rather than creating a new contact record. So The second method is two-stage forms or multi-stage forms. The third reason that hidden fields are so valuable is for collecting supplementary information about people who are already in your database, okay? So this is exactly like we just described. It's the second stage or the third stage form. The difference is, rather than having it come after an initial form submission, we're directing people there from an email. So if you know that your email subscribers, right, they've all given you their first name, but maybe they haven't given you their company name, or they haven't given you their job title or their birthday or some other piece of information that you want to collect, what you can do is build a landing page or a web form, include a hidden field for email, and then ask whatever questions you want. And then you send those people an email with a link to the form, and when they click that link, through the URL, their email address is passed, that hidden field is populated with their email. They only have to answer the questions that we have asked them, things that we don't yet know about them. And when they click submit, Infusionsoft is able to match that information to their existing contact record because of the email address, and it allows you to update that and fortify what you already know about them. Okay, so just in summary, those three methods are the URL parameters, so passing information to a landing page or a web form through the URL. That allows you to use one page to capture information from multiple sources and populate some stuff in the background to keep track of where people are coming from. Number two is multi-stage forms or two-stage forms. If you have a number of questions you want someone to answer, sometimes you can increase the likelihood that they'll answer all of them by breaking it up into smaller chunks, and two-stage forms are only made possible if you have hidden fields to match that email address each time. The third and final reason that hidden forms are useful is for collecting supplementary information about your audience. So if you already know their email address, this is how you can capture their name or their their email preferences, or what products they may be interested in, or give them a survey or an assessment or something of that nature. So hidden fields, they can be a little ambiguous if you don't know what role they serve, but they're actually quite powerful if you learn how to use them and where they can make your life easier. So hopefully this video does a good job of contextualizing that. If you have any questions about it, or if I missed any scenarios where you have found hidden fields to be valuable, pop them in the comments below. Later.